Yeah, cool. Over to you then, Zoe, as you're the host tonight.
Good evening, Zoe, and good evening, Samantha.
Hi.
you- Thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you.
I'm a menopause sufferer. I have been perimenopause for 10 years. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, I don't get a badge or I don't get like a reward or anything.
You wish.
I just get even more symptoms. That's what you win. So yeah, I've been battling for 10 years now. But to be fair, sorry, my dog's here. I've been quite
Oh,
controlled um for the last 5 years. It took me five or 6 years battling with the GP to get any recognition or get HRT. It was easier to tell you the symptoms that I didn't have than the symptoms that I did have because I just ticks pretty much everything. The one thing I haven't had is a hot flush. And that's like when I was sort of growing up, that's the only symptom that I'd really heard of associated with menopause, that you have hot flushes and oh, I'm having a tropical moment. Well, I've never had that. I would say my main worst night symptoms were night sweats, horrendous night sweats, um, and anxiety and depression, mental health issues, and aching joints, to the point of can't turn over in bed without screaming. My whole spine was just so painful. Um, Exercise was difficult. Fatigue was there. Oh, hi. Fatigue was just ever present. And I would say actually that's the one thing that I just can't seem to get on top of is the fatigue. Everything else I manage with, I take HRT, but I had a review last week, and so I started 3 years ago on one pump a day. Then it went up to two, and then it went up to three. So it's been three pumps for probably the last year. And then I had my bloods done, and I had my bloods done about a year ago. My testosterone, I had no testosterone. The blood result was zero, and I had to battle for a year. I had to change my GP to go and see a menopause specialist because the care I got was absolutely shocking. And she straight away just put me on testosterone. She was like, you've managed your symptoms with your estrogen, so let's incorporate testosterone and see what happens. I'm not convinced about it, to be fair, but when I went back the other day, I'd had some bloods done, and my testosterone and estrogen were both in excess of the normal range. What's that
hmm.
about? I mean, she was really good. She was brilliant. And because I said, well, I know that your estrogen has to be optimized before your testosterone will start to be absorbed. But then we were talking and we are going, well, but does one affect the other? So does too much testosterone affect your estrogen? How does it work? And she's like, I don't know. There's not enough study being and research done on it. So no one really knows. So I've actually backed off on my estrogen, which fine, great. And my testosterone as well. So I'll give that another 6 months and see how that goes. But when I started on the HRT, I would say it sort of combated 50% of my symptoms. And then I came across Zoe, excuse me, on Facebook, and she introduced me to a capsule that I take that basically just wiped my night sweats, wiped my joint pain. I was getting up in the morning and my feet were like when you get out of bed and you can't walk and it's so painful. But now I'm like, I don't have that. I'm not going to say I jump out of bed because I don't jump out of bed. But when I get up, I can walk, which is amazing. So yeah, I've been taking the Amigas, and that's just completely changed everything. I was thinning on top. I've got new hair growth. My hair's gone thicker again. So I've had tons of benefits, but also looking, and I read loads about menopause and everything. And the biggest things that come up as well is protein and omegas. So anything I listened to, watched, read, everything said you need to take omegas during menopause. Need to take omegas. So like, right, tick. So what's next? Right, protein. So if we just talk about protein, so as we go through the menopause, our estrogen decreases. So reducing estrogen can cause sarcopenia, which is muscle loss, and osteoporosis, which is thinning bones. So we need protein to combat those issues. So proteins are large, complex molecules made up of amino acids, and these are the building blocks of life. Some we can make some amino acids, but there's 9 that we can only get from foods, and these are known as essential amino acids. Every structure in our body needs protein. Our muscles, bones, gut, liver, hair, skin, everything needs protein. The amino acids from protein, they're essential for the structure and the function and the regulation of pretty much every process that our body does. It's necessary for us to produce hormones, and it's also necessary for those hormones being transported around the body. So it's really important we get enough protein. So they can all they also regulate insulin, which obviously regulates our blood sugar. So that stops us getting the spikes and the troughs, which is when we have that real hideous sugar crash and feel dreadful. So we need to eat enough protein. I've also been watching, I don't know if you've heard of the glucose goddess. She's got some real top tips because she's amazing. It's really interesting. I saw it on Netflix. I think it's a 2-part documentary. And she talks about, so I'm a real sort of sugaraholic. I'm massively addicted to sugar. So if I go for a snack, I'll have a biscuit or a piece of chocolate. So then I have my massive sugar spike, and then the insulin hits in and causes a massive crash. When you're at the bottom of that crash, your body is craving sugar again to get your level back up. So you just repeat this cycle of eating sugary crap, spiking, troughing. You then become insulin, what's the word, Menno brain?
Dependent.
Tolerant. You become insulin tolerant. So your functions, your body just doesn't function as well as it should do. So by eating proteins and carbs first, and then have your sweet fix after. So those proteins and carbs fill your stomach up, and as they're being digested, the sugar then comes in from your pudding, but the first lot of your meal regulates that sugar. So you're more like this rather than big peaks and troughs. So yeah, that's a good takeaway. Eat your sweet stuff after a meal. So I've been doing that and I have seen a difference. Going back to protein. So the protein keeps us fuller for longer. Also, as we age, there's something called the protein leverage effect, which is unbelievably amazing how this even happens. So the protein leverage effect is when your body reaches its target protein intake, you will not feel hungry any longer. So if you don't eat enough protein, your body will still crave protein, but you don't realize it's protein that it's craving. So you start eating everything else, the chocolate, the biscuits, the crisps, when it's protein that you want. It's called, look it up, it's called the protein leverage effect. So if you're feeling hungry after you've eaten or whenever, have extra protein. So I get my extra protein in. I will have I've started having bit of cottage cheese. I've been getting these.
Oh, I love them.
Rice cakes, because I don't do rice cakes, but these are lentil, so
They're lovely. Yeah.
They've got more protein in. I also have, I mean, I train as well, so I do take protein shakes. But I've tried every protein shake out there, and I settled on this one. Let me just see. So I'm just trying to. I think it's got like 22 grams of protein. So that is a really good protein hit.
I think it's 25, so I think it's
Was
25.
it 25? Am I wrong?
25, yeah.
I'm getting confused
It's
with
a really
my
high,
meal shake. So I
yeah.
have meal shakes at, well, I'm out on the road all day. And when you stop and you want something for your lunch, it's either like a sandwich and crisps and chocolate and a drink. It's just crap, and it's expensive crap. I don't really eat bread. I get bloated off it from all the crap that's in it. So I have a shake, and I think that's 20 grams of protein. And as well, depending which milk you mix it with, you can get another protein hit. Another way I get extra protein in, and I sneak it in, is when I'm making like a stew, I'll put a tin of mixed beans in it. And then it makes your meal go further, but you're also getting veggies and protein from veggies if you don't want to just eat loads and loads of meat. And that's got lots of fiber in it and things. So I do that. Or I eat eggs. I'll have a couple of eggs as a snack as well. So how much protein should we eat? So the guidelines for an adult, for a female, is 0.75 grams per gram of body weight, which is really confusing. So I've done a chart. So just bear with me a sec and I will find it. But some research, where is it? Where's my wine glass? Some research has shown that actually when you're menopausal, you should be having up to 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight. So I've just done a basic chart of, can you see that black banner at the top, or is that just on my screen?
No, we can just see like where it says weight, kilogram protein per day.
Right. So
Yeah.
I've just done, just as a rough guideline, so you've just got a bit of an idea. So if you weigh 9 stone, that's 57 kilos. So your target protein is between 68 and 114 grams per day. If you're 10 stone, your target protein is 76 to 127 grams a day, which is a lot. It is a lot to get in. So having a shake here and there, a couple of boiled eggs for your snacks, it's just being more mindful of what snacks you're having, I think, instead of like me reaching for a 4-fingered Kit Kat. I'll have a couple of eggs or a handful of nuts instead. So that'll give you, that's like I say, just a bit of an overview of weight and target protein.
Zoe,
And
is
then
it is an egg 6 grams of
it's
protein?
something like that, yeah.
It's quite a
Yeah,
lot, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah, it is, yeah. I love eggs. I could live off
I
eggs.
do.
And then I also looked at the different types of milk and how much protein they contain as well. So cow's milk is your highest protein milk. The next is soy. Soy also has what they called estrogen. It's got basically, it mimics estrogen. So you're getting an extra hit of estrogen if you have soy milk. It's not recommended for non-menopausal people, women, as you can have too much soy and estrogen from that. Sorry, but definitely menopausal. I have soy milk in mine. Oat milk, you can see the rest of them. There's not a lot of protein in them, but that's what you want. That's what you want, or maybe mix it up a bit. So I actually have oat and soy in mine. I try not to have cow's milk. So that's a bit of info there. And then I've also just put this together just so you can see, and I'm happy to share these, how much protein you get in what you're eating.
That's really good. That's really useful, Zoe. Yeah,
Yeah.
really
So if you
useful.
have like a chicken breast for your tea, but you have like a little salad with mixed beans in it, that's going to put your protein up a bit more, and full of fibre, vitamins, minerals. Oh, the chicken egg, 14 grams. Oh, that's per 100 grams, yeah. So it depends on your egg size.
Brilliant.
So that's just some info about protein there, really. Has anyone got any questions, or it's just
You,
really key that we get protein in. But yeah, when I first read about the protein leverage effect, I was like, oh my God, what?
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
So if you're hungry, reach for something protein filled rather than just carbs. Yeah, have some cheese, have a chunk of cheese because it's got the fats in there that you need. Don't be worried about that. Yeah, so that's my little chat on protein.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. That was amazing.
So is there anything you'd like to add? Anybody or
Would shall I do you want me to talk about my menopause?
can do,
And I'll
yeah.
talk a bit more about menopause in general. So thanks for the other ladies for joining us. Sorry you missed the beginning. The call is recorded, so if you wanted to watch it from the start, that's not a problem. So Zoe was talking about, her menopause journey, and she actually takes HRT. Well, I don't take HRT. I think at the time when I think it was an obvious thing for me because I was starting to get the hot flushes and the sweats at night. I've had achy joints. I'm 51 now, and I've had the achy joints since I was 40. And I thought that that was just part of getting older. I didn't even put it relevant to menopause at all. And, noticed the weight gain, the moody, irritable, generally feeling very tired, and just thought really a lot of it was down to old age. But I think for me it was getting the hot flushes that I thought, oh, this is definitely sort of menopause. That was kind of my interpretation of menopause. So I at the time I think at the time when I was starting to sort of struggle, I was due to go for a smear, and I mentioned it to the nurse, and she said, well, to be honest, there's a short supply of HRT, so it's probably unlikely that you'll be offered it. I must admit, I wasn't all that keen. My mum had a really bad experience on HRT, and it kind of put me off. So she had to come off of it. Yeah, she was just having a terrible time on it. Just didn't help her symptoms. She had lots of side effects. HRT is great for lots of people, but obviously for some people it just doesn't suit. So the lady said to me, go and source some natural products. There's some really good products out there. And it's really funny because I stumbled across the products that I take now, and I've been taking them for nearly 5 years. Actually, it'll be 5 years in March. And I started on so the fruit, vegetable, and berry capsules, which literally they are raw fruits, vegetables, and berries. And so I get 30 varieties in my diet every single day. Straight away, I noticed my energy levels increased after about 4 weeks. Um, and then I started to take the omega capsules, the vegan omegas. Oh my God, within 4 weeks, my hot flushes stopped, my night sweats, my aches and pains massively improved. I was seeing a sports therapist regularly for a really bad stiff neck constantly. I was constantly in pain. That all stopped. I think I probably see her now once, twice a year at the most. And so my aches and pains to manage much better on a daily basis. I'm sleeping better. So for me, that was a massive game changer. And like Zoe said, I introduced Zoe to the omegas. She was getting some good results from HRT, but was still struggling with her night sweats and aches and pains, and had really good improvements, from those. And omegas our bodies need omegas. They're what Zoe's holding up now. Our bodies need omegas. If you talk to any nutritionist or even doctors, will recommend that we should be taking a good omega-3 capsule. And the difference with ours in comparison to all of those lots of different ones out on the market is that ours have got omegas 3, 7, and 9. They also include vitamin D, zinc, lutein, which is actually lutein and lycopene, which are really good phytonutrients. And if you look them up, there's lots of benefits that they offer. These can be taken alongside HRT, is always a good sort of case for that. Also, they're vegan, so no fishes were harmed in the process of making these. So we go straight to the source, and that's the fish, the algae that the fish feed on. And they're also bioavailable. So what does that mean? It means that the body recognizes it. So any synthetic products that you buy, typically shop brought omegas, will be synthetic. So your body doesn't recognize a synthetic product. So most of it is lost when you go to the toilet. So your body's not taking in the nutrients. With ours, because it's bioavailable, the body recognizes that and it takes in the nutrients. And this is why we see so many amazing testimonials of improvements, when people start to take them. And it can take a while. It can take took me 4 to 5 weeks to notice a difference. They also contain EPA and DHA, which are essential fatty acids, and they contribute to the maintenance of brain, eye, and heart health as well. So during menopause, we're also high risk of cardiovascular disease. So taking an omega supplement helps keep the heart healthy and can protect against strokes as well. So I think I mentioned before, so our bodies can't produce omega, so it's essential that we supplement this or we get that through our diet. And obviously, the obvious thing is fish. I mean, I prefer to get my supplement through these capsules because I know I'm getting them into my body every single day. Um, so omega-3 fatty acids can offer so many benefits, and it is a highly recommended supplement for menopause. And they can also have a positive effect on levels of estrogen as well. So they can help reduce inflammation, which our bodies can suffer from when during menopause. And this is due to the decline in hormones. So this can give a sort of natural inflammatory protection. Um, Also, the fruit, veg, and berry capsules that I mentioned earlier, it's so important to have a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. Especially during menopause, looking after our gut health is so important. So our gut is responsible for 70% of our immune system. So our gut and our brain talk to each other every single day. So what you're feeding your gut, it really does affect your brain, which is why we see so many people suffering with anxiety and depression going through the menopause. So again, it's really good to sort of think about what we're putting into our bodies in our diet every day. So when we hit perimenopause, it is due to the declining and fluctuating levels in hormones, so the estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, and we start our ovarian aging journey. And you can experience perimenopause up to 10 years, and as a result, we notice changes in our bodies. So HRT can replace these, but we should all be making lifestyle changes to help reduce symptoms and keep our health in tip top. Um, really, our diet, nutrition, and lifestyle can have such an effect on our bodies. So, we need to be thinking about sort of our stress levels, sleep, movement, and the foods that we choose to eat and drink can have a massive impact on our hormones. So we need to be fueling our bodies rich in whole foods, cut out refined sugar, processed foods. We shouldn't be focusing on cutting out calories because this generally cuts out nutrients. We should be getting a good balance of healthy fats, carbs, and protein. Stay hydrated and drink plenty of water. So really, you've got to think about, what's in your menopause toolkit daily. And for me, it's adding in those supplements to bridge the gap of what I'm not getting in my diet daily. It's weight resistant exercise, so I aim to do 3 workouts a week. I walk my dog every day as well, so I'm getting out walking in the fresh air. Again, that's good for your mental health. All right, Zoe.
Can I just say as well, I forgot what I'm going to say now.
Sorry, there's
I'm
me
gonna
waffling on.
no. So like you were saying, it's key to do weight bearing exercises. And another thing is the weight gain during menopause. Um, but if you have more muscle mass, muscle it works the metabolism harder. So that will help with fat burning. The more muscle you have, the more fat burning you have. So yeah, definitely do weight bearing exercises, pick up some weights, pick up some tins of beans, whatever, as well as your cardiovascular, because you need your cardiovascular health. But yeah, that was, sorry, it was just, I just wanted to say that about, again, the protein and weight gain.
But also as well, some people, how do you kind of get into that doing that exercise because you're like, oh, I've got no energy, I can't be bothered, or I haven't got time. And actually, once you start doing it, I mean, I only do 20 minutes at a time because I work full time. So I do get up a bit earlier. But then you've got to shower and obviously wash your hair and all the rest of it. So that's all very timely as well, isn't it? Before work. But I'd feel so much better for doing it and lifting weights. You're not going to turn into some muscle woman. You are doing your body so much good.
Do you
And
know how hard it
yeah,
is to be a bodybuilder? Do you know how long that takes?
we don't want to be
That's
bodybuilders, do we? Not when we're going through the menopause. Definitely not. Absolutely.
yeah.
So it is, it's a mindset thing. If you want to sort of start incorporating that into and I do it from home. I don't go to the gym if you feel uncomfortable. I mean, Joe Wicks, he's got some really good menopause workouts. I'm actually looking at trialing a new. I've been chatting to um, uh, some fitness people through my group, and they're going to let me trial they're offering sort of 20-minute workouts online, and if that goes well, I'm going to be talking about that in my group as well. So maybe you ladies might want to sort of jump on board with that also, because I think 20 minutes 3 times a week is not excessive and it's not difficult to fit in. And it can make you feel so
I
different
think as well, if you put it in your diary that you're going to do it, you're more
and
likely
commit
to do
to
it.
it.
And like I've got a friend who says she comes home from work and she's busy with the kids, so she can't actually get to the gym till 9 o'clock at night. She went, but I come in and I put my workout gear on because I've got to go then. Instead of coming in and putting my PJs on, I'll put my workout gear on and then I'm already in that mindset that I'm going to go. But like I say, if you're going for a massage, you put that in your diary, that time for yourself. So do the same. I come home from work on a Monday and Tuesday, and I do a workout,
See,
and
I
it's
do
I work
mine in the
out.
morning. I have to
Yeah, I
do
work
mine
out
in the
at home.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. It's got to be like 10 o'clock in the morning, which is when I'm at work, so I can't really do that.
Yeah, I do
So
mine
I do.
about 7 o'clock before I
Yeah,
get ready
I
for
do.
work.
Sometimes I will get up a bit earlier and do a HIIT workout before I go to work. And I tell you, I feel so much better when I've done it. And I've not got back into it yet this year, but I started doing that the last few months of last year. So I need to kick me ass and get up again and just do half an hour HIIT a couple of times a week. And then I'll do a bit of weights in the evening, just 3 times a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pilates,
So
great. Pilates is good. Yoga's good.
see, that's my heaviest weight that I use at the moment. So 8 kg.
What's
So I
that
do,
from?
this is an 8 kg. And then um, oh, God, I'm gonna bend down to pick them up. So I do 5 kgs and
Yeah,
3 kgs of for sort of for the the more upper,
yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
obviously when you're doing squats and that, and when they first arrived, I thought, oh my goodness, how am I going to manage them? But it's amazing how your body adapts and gets stronger so quickly. Um,
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
you'll be
So
really surprised at what your body is capable of.
Start with a tin of beans, start with a water bottle filled with stones. Doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you use, just do it. Get a pair of
It's just
tights
that repetitive.
and just do
Yeah.
some with a pair of tights. You know, it's stuff we've all got. You don't have to go and spend a fortune.
No,
Things.
absolutely not. Has anybody got any questions? Because me and Zoe have been rabbiting on. Hi, Tracy.
Hi. So I hit the menopause for it's coming up nearly five. It'll be 5 years later this year. I survive on 6 hours sleep, not by choice. Until the menopause, I had eight religiously. Slept well, plenty of energy. Hit the menopause, freight train. It's as much as I can do now, working full time, to walk 30 minutes to work and 30 minutes back from work, and I get home and I flop. I have absolutely no energy. I'm also being investigated for cardiac issues, but they can't find what's causing it. Where my pulse drops, the lowest my pulse has dropped is to 39. And it can stay like that for an hour or for 4 or 5 days.
Okay. So that would have an
Um,
impact on your fatigue then, wouldn't it?
yep. So the opportunities and the energy to do anything beyond those two 30-minute walks a day, not gonna happen. There's no way.
And what's your
I
diet like, Tracy? What are
I
you
eat
doing?
very healthy. I've been vegan for 27 years. I have been trained in vegan nutrition by the Vegan Society. I did a dance degree. We learnt about physiology and nutrition then. Um, I know all about vegan nutrition, so hence why my comments in the chat about the phytoestrogens and the soy
Yes.
protein
Thank
and
you. I couldn't
stuff.
remember what it was called.
Oh, I've missed the
Yeah.
chat.
So,
Sorry. Yeah.
and I've been trying for the last 6 months to take magnesium capsules,
Yeah.
but they don't. Nothing seems to touch it. I eventually, after a year wait, trialing. I've tried every kind of HRT going. Nothing touches it.
Right. So the fatigue's your main issue. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
That lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep.
I
Yeah.
can get to sleep. If I wake up, I can't go back to sleep again.
Yeah. See, I
So
used to be
I
like
wake
that.
up
Yeah.
after 6 hours and I'm still tired, but I can't get back to sleep.
I have to say, since I took the Omegas, these ones, I sleep lovely now. I sleep 8, 9 hours a night, and I don't. Yes, I might wake up for the odd sort of toilet break, but I go straight back to sleep again. So, I mean, if you're open to looking
I
at
already take
this,
omega-3 capsules.
do you? But is it
Yeah.
a good quality one, like a bioavailable one
Yep.
that
Yep.
your
It's
body's going
algae
to
oil.
take in?
It's algae oil.
Right.
Do you have caffeine?
Yes, because if I don't, I can't get out of bed in the morning. But I
Just so
don't
you
drink
know,
caffeine
ladies,
after lunchtime.
we've got 1 minute left, and the call is going to end, I'm afraid. So,
I was
Yeah.
reading something the other day and it was saying don't have caffeine for at least 45 minutes after you've woke up. Otherwise, it just keeps you in that sort of fight or flight cycle.
Okay. I mean, if I
So,
didn't have caffeine in the morning, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed to get to work. But then I don't drink caffeine after lunchtime because I want to be able to get to
right.
sleep at night.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
It's difficult. My worst symptom now is fatigue. Definitely. I could have a nap every day.
Yeah.
I don't because I'm working, but yeah, and I feel your pain. But I
Yeah.
do generally sleep better